Lessons from Behind My Chair is a podcast that aims to fill your cup with a fresh squeezed dose of clarity, courage, and bliss. Join your host, Angela B. Fuller, each Sunday morning at 7 for real, raw, light bulb conversations, and follow along at Angela B. Fuller on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, as well as rate 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Now, let's get into the show.
Hey, love. Welcome back to another episode of Lessons from Behind My Chair. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, master hairstylist turned certified life coach. So today is a very special Sunday. It's First Sunday, and you guys know that on the first Sunday episode, I devote this episode to elevating our spirituality. I go a little deeper so that you can rise up and kind of follow the path that you come to know of what God has for your life. So let's dive in. But before we dive in, I do have a pop question for you. Okay, so here we go. This is the pop question. What do you do when the comfort you have worked so hard to create now looks foreign to you? So I want you all to allow this question to marinate a little bit, and hopefully by the end of this episode, you get a different perspective on the answer to that question. And I'd certainly like for you to comment below at the end of the show. Okay? So here's the thing. I have been giving a lot of thought, a lot of prayer, and a lot of meditation into where I am currently in my life's journey. You know, I affectionately call this time my halftime. And basically what halftime is it's like the whole culmination of all my experiences, my stories, my wins, my losses, my accomplishments, my disappointment, everything that I have experienced within the 60 years that I've been living on this earth. And where I find myself, I find myself sitting comfortably in this spot, but yet uncomfortable, because I feel like I've done all that I can do, and quite frankly done it well. But then at the same time, I also feel like there is so much more left for me to do. But the how of doing it has me puzzled, has me hesitant, has me afraid. And so I want you to just think about, see, how I see halftime is I have lived more years than I'm going to live. So when you think about the halftime in your life, think about all that you've done, all that you've experienced up to this point in your life. And now you're sitting with some questions on how do I move forward. This was a big one for me, y'all, because after reading, I was reading my Bible, and in the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 9 through, I think it's around verses 9 through 22, it talked about Peter having a vision that showed him everything he believed about his life, and his beliefs and his views. And he thought all these beliefs and views were absolute truth. until he had a halftime encounter with all of his beliefs, all of his biases, all of his views that showed him who he had to become in order to fulfill God's will for his life. And so when I think about what's next for me, and it's the same for you, I want you to think about what is next for you. Here you are, having accomplished so much, and you pretty much reached somewhere in your 45th year, your 50th year, your 60th year, even your 70th year. You've given all you can give to people, to husband, children, career, family, and now you're sitting in your halftime. You may be retired, you may still be working, but you're wondering, is this it? All these years I've spent building this life of comfort, building this life of assurance where I'm sitting right now. And at the same time, I'm comfortable and yet uncomfortable. I want you to think about that for a second. And I want you to think about, what can you do to get you to the other side of your halftime? Because it's the same thing with professional, say, football. They've played first quarter, they've played the second quarter, and then at the end of the second quarter, they're sitting in halftime. They practiced all this time. They perfected their moves. They've worked out the entire game plan on how to win this game, on how to beat their opponent. And then things haven't always turned out the way they planned it. So now there's halftime, which gives them an opportunity, give the players, the coach, all the people that's involved, an opportunity to course correct and get this thing right. Well, that's where I want you to imagine yourself. Because to be perfectly honest with you, that's where I am finding myself. And so 3 things that I had to do, or that I'm currently doing, and that I want to offer you, is to help you with your halftime position, is to understand that it is time to release the old. And sometimes the old is still working, but it's still not enough. And the second thing is, it's time to grow with the new. And believe me, there's nothing great about growing into something new, especially when it's so far removed from what you believe your gifts and your talents are. And the third thing I want you to ponder is the time, and being sure about the time, not just for you to move forward, but bringing other people with you as you attempt to experience your new territory. And so let's talk about when it's time to release the old. Let's talk about when it's time to release the old and what that may look like for you. It's about, what I found is that it's about dropping the old, your old fears, your old comfort zone, your old how you view things, your old of how you go through life, your old of what you allow yourself to believe, the old of what you keep out, the old of the territories that you've covered, of the places you go, releasing those old, dropping the old. And then think about embracing, or consider embracing the feeling and the freedom that comes with accepting what was is no longer working for you. You know, it's a unusual kind of thing. When have you ever been in a place where something is working and yet it's not working? It brings about a feeling of unfulfillment, a feeling of non-excitement, a feeling of just going with the motion, but not really getting any emotions out of it. And then when it comes times to releasing the old, you have to understand that breakthrough is on the other side of your release. You know, you cannot effectively have one without the other. You cannot have an effective, jaw-dropping, earth-shattering breakthrough without release. And so let's go to number 2, when it's time to grow. You know, when it's time to grow your creativity, when it's time to grow your power, your ability to perform, when it's time to grow your boldness, when it's time to grow your clarity, your courage. You know, I often say that you cannot remain on breast milk and grow to your full potential at the same time. You know, because you've got to understand that your nourishment, the source of your nourishment, I should say, must change as you change. Otherwise, depletion not only will destroy your source, but it will destroy you, because you won't be getting anything out of it. You know, there comes a time when you must replace that liquid food with a solid, balanced meal. You know, I think using this as a super analogy, you know, because true sustainable growth, in my opinion, requires it. It requires us to get off something weak, something lame, and jump into something solid. I'm talking like 3 solid meals 3 times a day and a snack if you're going to grow the way you're trying to grow. And so as you partake of the new knowledge, you know, your new ways of thinking, your new ways of challenging yourself, your digestion will get better, and the new stuff that you're letting in will begin to make a noticeable difference in your life. I mean, a phenomenal difference in your life. And that would be your sure sign way that you are growing, that you are leaving halftime and you're opening up the possibilities to what is on the other side of that halftime for you. Now listen, I'm not saying this is easy. You know, I struggle with it. It's a struggle for me daily. But it's a daily struggle that I'm willing to take. It's a daily struggle that I know it's worth it. And I want you to know that it's worth it for you. And it doesn't matter if anyone else understands what you're going through. You know, because sometimes people look at our lives and frankly, they wish they had it. And it may look great to them on the outside, but you know what's happening with you on the inside of your life. Okay? Don't let what other people view as you got it going on when you know there's so much more that you are leaving on the table. And the third thing is, there's a time when you need to bring others along. And you probably say, well, Auntie, how can I bring somebody else along when I don't even know where I'm going. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it matters. Because we got to understand that no woman is an island. We can't do it ourselves. We can't get to our next level by ourselves. You know, the other side of your halftime, the other side of my halftime is not just for me. The other side of your halftime is not just for you. You know, it's for building, it's for kingdom building, in my opinion. It's for when you've discovered a thing that's working for you, it's you having the courage to reach out, to reach back, to reach to the side of you, to show someone how you did it and invite them along. You know, other women are waiting for you. And you know, it took me a long time to understand this and to embrace this. But other women are waiting for me to make it through my halftime, you know, to be about my business so that they can move. Some people cannot move. Some women cannot move unless you move. And when you step, it gives them the courage to step. And that's a powerful thing. And so I want to invite you, all my listeners, all my viewers, to cross into your third quarter. To move, like the young people say, to bust a move. To move. Even if you don't have a completed blueprint in your hands, I want you to move. And you got to know that whatever it is you need as you're moving, when you need it, it will be right there waiting for you at your disposal. And so I want to encourage each of you to take time to be. Take time to be with yourself. Take time to be with that still small voice inside of you. Take time to be with God. You know, talk to God, listen to God, and then be on your assignment. Listen to what God is saying, and then be about your business. Okay? Ain't nobody got time for games. It's time to be about your business. Right now. Not last week, not tomorrow, but right now. And you know what, frankly, I think I better stop right here. Because see, y'all about to have me run into October's first Sunday. And I can't do that. I've got to be obedient. So I'm going to stop right now. But you know I'm going to be looking for you next Sunday. Same place, same time. And remember, don't forget, I want you to like this episode. I want you to comment. I want you to share it. And I want you to subscribe. Oh, and one more thing before I go. Be sure to click the link in the description below to join the Full of Love newsletter and receive your free gift. I have a free gift for you. It's how self-love and mindset open the door to transformation. It's a beautiful, well thought of, detailed affirmation guide just for you, just for subscribing to the Fuller Love newsletter. And remember, I believe in you. Okay? Bye. Mwah.
Thank you so much for tuning into Lessons from Behind My Chair. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And be sure to rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. We'll see you next week with another juicy topic. Okay? Bye!